Good afternoon. My name is Vanessa Ramirez. I work for KIPP Houston Public Schools and have also started a nonprofit called 8 Million Stories, whose mission is to aggressively disrupt the school-to-prison pipeline. But as was mentioned, I'm also a Knowledge is Power program, or KIPP, alum. I was in Mike Feinberg's and Dave Levin's 5th grade class back in 1994 when KIPP started, and have never left their classroom since. A few years ago, I was asked by my KIPP family to share my reflection about the different characteristics of great teaching. As I was thinking about what I'd share, all of these questions I had as my 5th grade teacher student began to pour in, and I realized, wow, we as students are pretty obnoxiously vocal about questioning everything you do, how you do it, and why you say what you say. But we are not as quick to come back to your classrooms to give you that last homework assignment you gave us as teachers, which is to allow our life journey to provide the answers to these questions. And so I wrote. I asked my questions, I reflected and digested my life experiences, I wrote some more, and ended up with a reflection that started as an open letter to my 5th grade teachers, but ended as a celebration of great teaching. And so here's my reflection. As Mr. Feinberg's and Mr. Levin's 5th graders, this is what I often wondered. Why are we sitting on the floor? Why can't we sit in desks like the rest of America's students who, by the way, aren't in school because it's summertime? No other teacher considers June or July a part of the school year, just you. And why do we also have to earn our desks, our uniforms, our pencils, our notebooks, and the air that we breathe? And why do we also have to write thank you letters to every person who looks our way? Is it really necessary? Really necessary to thank that Amtrak train conductor that took us from Houston to Chicago for that end of school year trip? He won't even remember us. Why do you call my mom for everything? And why did you make her feel comfortable to call you about anything? How does me not washing the dishes translate to the type of student that sits in your classroom? If you know you can't sing and dance, why are we learning our multiplication tables to Selena's Beady Beady Bomb Bomb? And when will we ever use this? Why did you leave that bag of marshmallows on the table and then just walked out? That was strange. Why do you keep telling us we're one team and one family? I thought school and family were two completely different worlds. Why are all our field trips to see musicals, universities, or join you at galas? FYI, 10 through 14-year-olds prefer to go to the movies or ride roller coasters. Let's make that happen. And lastly, I've been looking up at that all of us will learn banner. You don't really believe that, do you? Teachers, 20 years later, I asked myself the same questions. I reflected on my life experiences, and these are the answers life gave me. Thank you. Thank you for teaching me that everything in life is earned. Yes, you were right. A desk and a uniform was only the beginning. You not only helped fight off that bout of self-entitlement that took over my generation, but you instilled in me a drive to work hard and try my best at everything I do. And thank you for teaching me to love saying thank you. Can't seem to stop saying it now, and yes, people have noticed. Oh, and I'd heard that train conductor remembered us Kipsters even though 12 months had passed and he had met millions of people, he still remembered KIPP. Now, when people recognize my Kippisms, I say, even if it sounds cheesy, at KIPP, we remember and we appreciate because we do. Thank you for calling my mom for everything and making her comfortable to call you about anything. You really did see my mom as a partner in my education. And while it was meant to help me, and it did, You really impacted her life by making her feel like she actually had a say and a choice in the matter. And when you sat on my couch to walk my mom and me through the Commitment to Excellence contract, thank you for not using the language barrier as an excuse to do away with the home visit. Thank you for finding a way to make sure my mom understood what her role needed to be. And I'll never, ever, ever be able to thank you enough for allowing me to witness my mother's twinkling eyes on the day of my college graduation. I know you told me that the view at the top of the mountain would be beautiful, but man, I didn't expect for it to be that beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for singing and dancing along to Selena. You made learning fun, engaging, and relevant to all aspects of my life. Over the last 20 years, I have been singing my multiplication tables to Selena's beady beady bom bom in my high school and college classrooms, in grocery stores, banks, libraries, and airplanes, actually. Thank you for that bag of marshmallows and helping me understand the meaning and impact of deferred gratification at the age of 10. Even though I thought you were lying when you told us that if we passed that marshmallow test, we'd enjoy greater success as adults, now I know what you meant. And yes, you were right. Resisting the self-discipline, and resisting the temptation to give up when the going got tough really made that walk across those stages you spoke of feel like I was walking on marshmallows. Man, was it worth the wait. Thank you for teaching me the significance of team and family. I used to believe that family consisted of only those who share your blood, but you, my teachers, taught me that family also consists of people who say, I'll be there and never leave. Also, thank you for making sure we all felt the consequences of any one of my teammates' mistakes. My high school teachers, college professors, employers, family, and friends all noticed the impact of that lesson. I've been called selfless, caring, solution-oriented, and a team player. Oh, and I'll never forget that day in April of 1995 when you sat out in the hallway with my teammate Timmy who were grieving Selena's death. You had already worked a 15-hour day, and yet you sat out there in the hallway with us until we shed our last Selena tear. One team, one family. Thank you for the musicals, galas, and mandatory fun/educational trips. You allowed me to be a part of conversations in high school and in college. When my high school peers asked me if I'd ever left Houston, I confidently said yes, actually. I went to DC, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey, and every other state with cheap hotels. And I've been searching for the college of my dreams since 5th grade. I checked out UPenn and Yale, but not for me. And when I got to college, my friends actually wanted to hear about my Phantom of the Opera on Broadway experience and about Billy Elliot, My Fair Lady, West Side Story, and The Sound of Music. And those galas, man, scary and potentially traumatizing. But little did I know you were preparing me for the life you knew I'd get to live. Thank you for the food etiquette lessons and your sink or swim approach to teaching us about code switching. It paid off in high school, college, and beyond. Thank you for instilling in me the belief that all of us can and will learn. It didn't make sense in 5th grade and much less in 8th grade, especially when our surroundings forced us to buy into the idea that demography just may dictate destiny. But you, my teachers, you were a worthy opponent, and you actually got me to believe that while I was only the exception to the rule, one day I would be the norm. And my sphere of influence would be no different than those from more affluent neighborhoods. Thank you for developing my sense of self-understanding, self-love, and self-realization. So while it may not sound like it, reflecting was more than difficult. You see, I don't know a thing about teaching. I've only been a product of great teaching. But here's another reflection. What I've learned is that great teachers have a broad knowledge of subject matter, curriculum, and standards. And yes, they also have a broad knowledge of discipline and classroom management techniques. These teachers have clear, written out objectives, and they're prepared and they're organized. But great teachers, those who teach with heart, aside from owning all those characteristics and helping us make that academic transition to and through college, these teachers, you teachers, are empowering and inspiring the next generation of leaders. You were determined to teach us about our place in this world and the power we have to change our world, and we are taking action. Teachers, thank you for the life lessons. Your hard work, dedication, beautiful spirit, determination, drive, and love has not gone unnoticed. We know you are daughters, sisters, wives, mothers, brothers, husbands, sons, fathers, and I know we often pull you away from those responsibilities. On behalf of my peers and on behalf of all the students that have sat in your classrooms, please tell your families we say thank you for sharing you with us. However, if you ever question why you do what you do, and you have every right, what you do is so hard, please don't hurt me. But if and when you do, just look around and you'll notice the beautiful stories that teachers have created. You'll notice students who have chosen to become teachers because, and only because, they want to make as big an impact as you made in their lives. Or engineers or financial analysts because their math teachers instilled in them a love and passion for numbers. Or lawyers, artists, public policy and grant writers, architects, entrepreneurs, or founders of their own nonprofits, simply because through your actions you said, I believe. And thus, you inspired us to believe in ourselves. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And our families, our communities, and our friends, they say thank you as well. One love.